I'm very excited to put this in, but I'm hot.
It's 85% humidity.
Yeah.
Well, it's 11 o'clock and your shirt's already soaked.
I know. I'm soaked through my shirt. I'm hot. This is kind of heavy.
You were hydrated.
Yes.
Grab the dial indicator.
Colby is once again saving the day. We are finally going to be able to mill our couplers, and once these are done, then we can start aligning our engines, actually get them in place and then start aligning them.
There's also split coupling.
For anyone unfamiliar with couplers, and trust me, I was too until recently, think of them as a metal handshake between your gearbox and the propeller shaft. A coupler is a round metal piece that connects the spinning shaft of your gearbox to the shaft that turns your propeller. It has a hole in the center that slides over the gearbox's output shaft, and it's usually locked into place with bolts, set screws, or a key. On the opposite side, it either connects directly to the prop shaft or mates with another component, like a damper plate. Today, Matt took a trip to Colby's machine shop to modify our off-the-shelf coupler, increasing the bore from 12 millimeters to 25 millimeters. That's going to give us a precise, interference-free fit with our shaft, which is essential for a smooth, vibration-free operation. To do this, the coupler was mounted on the milling machine using a 4-jawed chunk. From there, a precision boring bar was used to enlarge the central hole to exactly 25 millimeters. The most important part of the whole process is making sure that the bore stays perfectly centered so everything runs true when it's spinning. A huge thanks to Colby for lending us his time and expertise. With this step complete, we're one big step closer to getting our electric motor fitted and spinning, and we are so excited to keep pushing forward.
Yesterday, Colby and I did the coupler that's going to attach here. Now it's time to move this up into place finally. Luckily, this is light enough that Tucker and I can carry it down. We still don't have a setup to get the actual engine in, but this one will be a step in the right direction to finish off the engine bay. So today, we're going to lift it up, get it into place, and start setting that engine bed. So we're going to make it happen.
What's the plan of attack?
Finally going in the boat. So up the stairs. We can't really set it down easily because this hangs down lower than that spot. So if we do, we've got to put it down. Jess is going to carry that up and be able to set it underneath there. We got to tilt it so it's sitting on this, not on that flywheel back there. So like tilted aft. So when we put it, if we were to set it down, we need to set it like that.
Okay, Tucker. Use those muscles.
I just wish I had a bar that I could put through there.
Yeah, unfortunately it rests on the motor. And I don't think that's meant to take the whole load.
It's not my boat.
Hey, that's what I say.
I know, that's what we tell
That's
Jeff.
what I say when I do things.
Yeah.
Do you want to try lifting it and seeing if you can do it? I can try grabbing like that.
Just wondering the best.
If I can try, like, if that helps support it at all, or...
Yeah, good. I can get it up the steps.
Okay.
It's like how I look when I carry stuff.
Tucker, does not work.
You're the spotter.
Yeah. It's getting heavy, isn't it? Oh.
Step one complete.
So I did probably 10% of that. Tucker did.
And look how
90.
much you're sweating.
I know, and I'm already dying. But and we'll temporarily set it here,
Throw it.
and then we got to get it down into there.
Open up that porthole. I'll drop her through.
Run, Isso es.
Show off.
step to complete.
You're getting red.
It's the creatine kicking in.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to go to the gym today, do you?
Yeah, today's ab day.
Oh, okay. Well, just tighten up when you do that lifting.
All right, so once it goes in, this wheel actually needs to be facing forward, and if Tucker were to grab it right now and just spin it in there, it would be facing aft. So the next step is to do a quick rotation where that hangs over the step, and then Tucker can bring it down.
So swing it. Bring it forward. Forward two.
Forward.
Yeah. Nope. Down. Nope.
The what?
Up. Down. There we go.
Let's plug the light back in.
All right. If I'm up here and you grab it there, I can try lowering it down to you. And that just goes, whoops. Right there. Perfect.
Woo! One motor in.
No.
One motor.
Sat in place for temporary, for time being, because I still have to glass the engine mounts into place. The whole idea is to make sure that we find the alignment right now. So the coupler will go on, the drive shaft will go through, then I can start adjusting things to make sure that I have the right height with the engine bed, that I have those riser parts about 2.5 inches, I have those adjusted properly. We'll use the methacrylate to bond those into place. And then the whole thing comes out, except for the fiberglass parts, and I'll glass that all the way in. That's going to be 6 layers of 12-ounce glass over the top of it, and then it can go in there permanently. Lots of extra steps.
Yeah, you used a bunch of big words, and now I don't feel as accomplished.
We did it, man. It's in there. Look how tiny that little thing is in that
It's
space.
so little.
I know, it gives us a bunch of extra room for activities.
So much more room for activities.
Yeah.
In our last episode, we shared the initial steps of installing a 9,000 BTU air conditioning unit in our master berth. Since then, Matt has made some great progress in getting the vents in place for that space, and now is turning his attention to the porthole, where the steps for installing our 16,000 BTU unit has begun.
The duct is about ready to get installed. Just need to paint it, but you can see how the little vents are gonna work. Twist, adjust. Both of them will be pointed in my direction, away from Jessica, because she doesn't like cold weather, and I do. So hopefully it'll work out well. We have the vent for the 16,000 BTU. The main vent that we're using hopefully will cool this area, our bridge deck, through one outlet. What we're gonna do is acknowledge the fact that we're not sure if this is gonna work or not. We have one big vent. This is a 5-inch, I think, that is going to be hopefully cooling the salon area, the galley, that type of stuff. We'll see. If it works, we'll keep it that way. There's also a little vent that goes into the V-berth area that's closable, so we can direct which way we want the actual cool air to go. But I just don't know if that's going to be enough venting to cool this area. If that one big vent isn't enough, we'll end up running a duct from this area. There's a bulkhead right here, so I got it as close as I really could to that bulk. Well, actually, bulkhead's right about here. So I got as close as I possibly could. The next one, there's one, let's say here, and then the same spot over on the other side of that. The plan would then be to run a duct through those two bulkheads and have a little small, maybe a 3-inch vent coming out the top there that would cool this. And of course, that is the better plan, to have it so I can direct it right into the salon area. problem is I don't want to go through those bulkheads. They are structural, they are important. We can put some unidirectional around them to strengthen that up, where I'd have to cut through holes, but I just don't feel great about it at this point. So I'm going to hold off and see if that works or not. And then I'll start going through and trying to reinforce those areas and make sure that we're not going to impact strength at all. The other option is to put it all the way forward, but then we have got ducks snaking through that area, which just isn't something I want to do either. So we shall see. If we come down, you can see we are. So I've got to do a reduction here from 6-inch. That'll go through there. You can see kind of where the cutout of the ducts are going to be. Unfortunately, with a 6-inch, it does take up quite a bit of space. I didn't want to run just the smaller 5-inch up there without a reduction, because in case I do need to tee off of that later, I don't want to tee off the 5-inch and already have a reduced area. So we've got that. And then the other area, there'll be a little duct that will be probably a 3-inch, just like what I have in that area. An outlet will be right about here. So then you can direct it this way and cool this area a little bit more. Now keep in mind, of course, that the cold air from an air conditioning drops down. So if you cool the salon, it does just waterfall down into the hulls here. So it'll just naturally cool these down. They won't be as good as, of course, having direct ducting through here. But my thoughts are, if we do have guests with us that are concerned with that, they would take Jess and I's berth and we would switch over to this side. Or if they're here just for a couple of days and screw them, they better just enjoy their time. They can sleep up in the V-berth area or whatever, but we won't be cooling directly that aft berth on the guest side. Drive shaft is in. This is just roughly where we had it setting before. So still need to do some alignment, but now connecting the coupler. This is a RD drive saver. So I've got to use feeler gauges between this and be able to get everything to make sure that is properly aligned. Right now it is incredibly close as it is, right? So I don't think we've got too much of an issue there. The adjustments for the mounts, of course, you got height adjustments here, and then you can bring it in and out. What I need to do is get this fiberglass piece bonded in first, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Get that bonded in. Then I can come through again and set these stainless pieces where they actually need to be. I'm going to bring this whole thing further aft a bit, and then I'll end up cutting down the stainless mount back here. The front one's fine, but just part of that process of going through and getting it all set. So I realized this drive saver is just a little too flexible, so it wasn't allowing me to check really the alignment well. Pulled it off so I can get in and see exactly what's happening here with the alignment. It looks like everything should be fine. Kind of see the stern hole here, pretty centered. I got to check that better, but haven't used feeler gauges or anything on it because, of course, it's not even on there tight yet. But it's within the mount adjustment, and that's all I'm really concerned with today, is making sure that I get that mount set up. So that's it. I'm gonna pull this out of place, bond it, and start glassing hopefully tomorrow. doing the final layout, then we'll bond these pieces in place. So I need to be from the center of each one of these pieces, I need to be 466 millimeters. 461, so I need to come out a little bit here. See how I'm doing with the base. So I'm even from side to side. I need to kick both of them out roughly 2 millimeters. Again, from the center line. And that is perfect. So what I'll do is I'll mark the edge of this so I know exactly where it goes. I'll put some of that Total Coat structural putty on the bottom of this, plop it into place, let it cure up, and then I can do the first layer of glassing. Have fun. All aligned now. Best part about the electric motor is the weight. Easiest engine alignment I've ever done because the fact I could lift the thing up and adjust each one of the mounts without needing a jack, without needing to screw around with it at all. So where I'm at now, take a look. You see there, we're centered, 6 millimeters all the way around, so we know that this is set. The mounts are roughly half where they're supposed to be. Plenty of room of adjustment for that. Each one of the mounts themselves, the feet where the bolt pattern is at the bottom, there's a bit of adjustment side to side there. Those are all centered, so we're good there. Put a feeler gauge on the coupler now that after I remove that drive saver, of course, because that you can't get a good alignment with that in place. Pull that out, it's actually where it should be. So now I can go through and bond those stainless pieces in. Once that's done, then final time pulling this out, pull it out, and I can glass everything in. Glass the inboard side already, so now on to the outboard. Just gonna do a quick little time lapse. Again, it's just glassing, so nothing real exciting here, but getting it finally done. So what I've done is I've braided the top of the stainless that you see here. That's with 36 grit, so it's got a nice tooth and should be able to bond to that well. So I'm gonna go through, cove the edges again, all the way around it, so I have nice smooth transitions of where the glass actually wraps around along the bottom there. Blasting into place. It's getting 5 layers of 12-ounce glass over the top of it, so that thing will never move anywhere, especially with just a small electric motor. Not a lot of torque on it anyway, so not to worry about it. I didn't know that love would make me whole again. Primed, and the motor is now back into place because we have to figure out where everything else is going to go. The auxiliary equipment that feeds this, specifically the cooling system. We have a heat exchanger. Everything's a little dusty. A heat exchanger that's going to take the seawater, run through there, and cool the glycol mix that goes into the motor itself, because it is water cooled. This is the reservoir, so this has got to be mounted above the motor itself with a little pump attached to it. The seawater pump that flows to that side, and then the seacock and the strainer. One of the benefits that we have that we've taken so long to actually install this is now Max Cruise has 10, 15 boats on the water with these hybrid systems with the electric motors. And what we found out is because this is a lightweight catamaran, very little of the boat that's actually in the water when it's sailing along at 10, 15 knots, and a lot of air ends up going through that system. The problem is those air creates air bubbles in the cooling system, and so we need a way, or we need to be very conscious of that when we're installing all of our equipment. Things like even for the air conditioner pump. All these things have to be mounted below the water line, and all the lines need to go on a upward slope to make sure that the air bubble is able to work its way out of the system. Things like this heat exchanger needs to be mounted a little bit on an angle. Same thing with the seawater pump that needs to be mounted below the water line, even though it's self-priming. And then the through hull where it's going to exit out of there needs to be mounted above everything, so then the air is able to flow naturally out the system. We need to do it at this stage now because I need to make mounting areas for that, mounting structures. And those are going to go and probably on the inboard side, but we're kind of debating as to what direction that's going to be. Now we're lucky because we have a ton of space to work with, but anybody that knows boats knows that these spaces are quickly going to get filled. As an example, this is hull 12 of the Max Cruise. This one has the electric motor on the starboard side, but they also put the water maker in here. It was a good location for them on that boat to put it in here. We're putting ours forward, but you can see how everything comes together. And even in this large space, you start having hoses run everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So all these things are coming into play now, and we got to get the mounting structures in place before we put the final paint, because a lot of those are going to need a little bit of additional fiberglass work. I'm going to need to at least sand down to the substrate, to the fiberglass, to be able to put a mount in there and make sure that it properly holds. We have the 2 holes drilled now. We have them decored so we can put some unidirectional in here to get back some of that strength that we've taken from this. Because again, this is our big main structural bulkhead is right here. So we got to make sure that we're reinforcing that as much as possible, because there is quite a high load that goes through there. Air conditioner going to be sitting in here, which we should be able to plop into place soon. This air conditioning system and the electric motor is where our focus has been. It's going to be sprinkled over the next couple of episodes when we end up installing this equipment, and we move on from there.
to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Won't you bend